Hey everybody, today's August 28th, and my sound hasn't been, I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe you guys can hear me fine, but when I replay the video, I can hardly hear myself, and I haven't changed anything except for my voice. So I want to talk about, I think I already said the date, August 28th, 2025, and I come to you with a heavy heart. I just got a text from one of our friends stating that she went to church and found God and she's moved out. Her and her partner have been together for over 20 years. And it blindsided her partner. And I thought the text was really a scam at first because this person's been around since, oh my gosh, she's a year older than me, I think. And she's been in the community since she was even in high school. And I thought, after I processed it for a while, because I just had to pray, I'm like, so I text her and told her because she's my friend and I love her, I wanted to tell a story. So I kind of summarized my story, how I handled being raised in the religion, and when I got old enough, the struggles I had, and how I finally came to terms that God loves me no matter what. The higher divine, Allah, whatever you want to say, our Creator is. I don't I don't put anything in a box anymore because there's so many shades of gray and people come from all different walks and they have their own journeys and the choices they make steer them a different way and or steer them this way. And so through my experiences, I've just come to terms the last couple months of you have to let go of the hurt and pain that others have caused you, and I'm basically talking about me because you're just taking away. It's just filling up the space, your good energy space, with negativity. And sometimes you don't wish revenge, but you kind of want something to get, get them back. But this really threw me for a loop. I honestly thought it was a scam until I reached out to the other one and told her that we were here for her and that anything she needs. And she finally responded to me and said it blindsided me. And that's what I thought. That's why I just, oh, my heart just aches for that situation. Um, the one who found God, I just kind of responded when I told you that I told her my story, and I just said, God loves you no matter who you are, who you love, um, and that religion's just a man made power, use it weaponizing God. And that's basically what I said. And I said, we're here for you if you have any questions or you want to visit, we're always here for you. So it's been hard to shake. It's just really been hard to shake for me because it's so personal in so many ways of the struggles I had in my life and having to accept a sex orientation that still was not. I didn't think it was me, but physically it was me, and it's just you. There's just struggles that other people put in your lives and on your journey and your pathway, and I've really been going out of my. I'm not in a box, but I've been going out of my way to really listen to stuff I wouldn't normally listen to. So, Edward Casey, he's the Sleeping Prophet. I've been listening to a lot of his the videos of him about spirituality and about how man is things that men think, or men and women, humans think are not. And it just really hits home with me. It confirms what I always felt, but I always was way out of the box with my family. In fact, even today, I am nothing like my family. My sister, she don't have dreams, she don't have visions, she doesn't look at her house and think about, I mean, once in a while when it all gets painted and clean, she gets all excited and dresses it up. But after that, it's just humdrum, thank you, mom, kind of thing. And my other sister is just so in a dark space. Um, has been for years, and I didn't realize it. Again, I'm the oldest out of five, and I was out of the house when I was 16. And I didn't get to know the younger kids that well. My brother and my youngest sister, who I was just talking about. Although my youngest sister and I were the closest through the years, I helped her, was with her through all the girls' years, childhood years, and we brought our families together whoever I was with, and the kids and all that stuff, and so we've kind of maintained a really good relationship. All relationships kind of go like this, and then they come together, and they go like this. It's just because of different ideologies, and now ours is like this because, well, she got a friend who always talks to her, and they talk about their illnesses and stuff. So I quit getting the phone calls, and now that other person gets the phone calls. But not only that, all three girls are grown and have their own children. So now it's like grandma's house, and we're invited. But when we're there, it's like, I'm just not close to all these kids anymore. I am close to my youngest niece. She lives about a mile down the road. She's into horses, and she's got three girls, and we go see their soccer, and they come over by, and so they know me now. If I was to leave this world tomorrow, I don't know if the youngest would remember me, and the middle child might kind of remember me. The oldest child probably would have some memories of me, but they're still like 10 and 8 and 4, something like that. But anyway, I'm making this video because I'm just heavy laden with the fact that God was used again to make a person feel that they're a sinner, or that they're wrong, that they need to confess their sins and they need to cleanse themselves. And I'm just like, I know back in the day, before growing up, that I probably would have, had I been normal to to most society, I might have stayed in that. I might not have, because my spirit just always questioned stuff, even as a child, before I even really knew my sexuality or anything. I used to question the sermons when I'd listen to them, and I thought to myself, we go from Sunday school to coloring Jesus pictures and singing Jesus songs about love and kindness, and then we go to the big church because we're too old for Sunday school, and we're taught how wrong we are, and that you better walk this line, and you can't mingle with the world, and all this stuff, and then all this fears, brought upon you, and you're like, and I used to question, because I always felt that the love I felt and the divine power within me as a child, because I had my struggles as a child because of my dad being an alcoholic. So I always, I lost my word, but I always went inside myself to church and Jesus for comfort. And in fact, one time I want to share with you, if any of you relate to any of this, is I was 16. It was before I moved out. I was 15, probably 15. And I was a loner. I played sports in school, but I didn't really have any friends. And I never wanted to bring friends over because I never knew how my dad would come home. And it was dark and I'd been battling with something. I don't remember really what it was. And I said, Lord, I said, I know you don't give signs to prove yourself. I said, but I'm really struggling here. I just need to know if I'm going to be okay. And it's when I was coming into my sexuality and didn't understand, and I wasn't questioning it. I just, a lot of things at one time. And I swear, the room got bright. But it wasn't just a brightness out of your eyes. I felt a warmth overwhelm me. And what might have seemed like forever for me probably was just seconds. But that rejuvenated me. That made me feel that I was okay and I'm going to be okay. And it gave me a sign that the spirit in me, my inner voice, is okay and it's true. And everything I feel, is right. And so I never questioned anything. I don't even think I was really questioning God. I think I was just dealing with religion and not agreeing with it and doing a transition in my life where I wanted out of my parents' home and all that stuff. So as I got older and got into my first relationship right out of high school, to a church person in our not in our congregation, but in our I forgot what they call it, conference or whatever, at another church. And but that church, the pastor of that church, was always getting in trouble with the conference. I'm just going to call them the conference people, because he didn't preach exactly how they wanted him to. Instead, what he preached was love, kindness, respect. He never, ever damned anybody for what they wore to church. He welcomed the homeless. He had lower class citizens there, and he just welcomed everybody. He didn't go on and spill brimstone and fire. He was a calm person, and he talked about how people want to put God under an umbrella, which really hit home with me, that sermon. And so it gave me a chance to strengthen my spirituality in a way, in a growth way that I accept, that I feel that it was comfortable to me. Because I never could understand all these rules. And anyway. So when I got this text this morning and she said she found God and she dedicated her life to God, I thought, oh, Lord. And I really thought about how to respond, because I wanted to respond as a friend and didn't want to lecture her and didn't want to all that. The only thing I did say as a friend, and I told you guys already, that I told her God loves her no matter what. And that I hope that she finds what she's searching for. Because I honestly believe, after I've processed it for a while, that God was the excuse to get out. That she may not have been happy, and because it's been so long. But she did it spontaneously. And that's the way she was when they got together. She was with someone else. And so I kind of thought back how she is as a person. She's not a bad person, but that's just how she was. And my heart goes out to the other one, because she said she was blindsided, and I could just see she's still working. She's my age, and she's already retired from the main job, but she's still working as a contract person, and they've done a lot of traveling, and she's worked to be able to do this traveling. And so I had to go on here and talk about it, honestly. If any of you are struggling in a relationship and don't know how to get out of it, believe me, I've been there. I know. It's hard, and there's no right or wrong answer, however you do it. And it's not that my friend that was blindsided was a bad person. I think it's because of her love for her that it was hard and difficult for her to leave, if that's what she wanted. I'm hypothetically putting this together in my mind, but I don't know what influences she has in her life. I know she had a sister. I met her years ago, but I don't know. I don't know who's been influencing her. She is part of, she does ride her bike and have a bunch. She has a lot of heterosexual friends too. So, but they're both good people. Uh, One of them just wasn't happy, and but I think my main reason why I'm on here is because religion has weaponized God, and I don't believe God is the way that anyone's taught in the church. And some churches go as far to say that they're the only religion, that everybody else is false, and that's just downright judgment. Everybody comes from different countries and different cultures, and they believe how they've been brought up to believe, and you can't condemn anybody for how they believe. I've come to the great deduction in my life that even when you know a person is evil, a person who is selfish, uh, and don't think that God could allow him, or her um, internal life, I say put on the brakes and think about it. That's their walk, and forming judgment is your own ideology. And I've been working on that for a long time. I've had a lot of videos saying how hurt I was by my family as far as politically, where they stand, and everything was against me. But you know what? I just come to realize, because I've really been struggling with that. I just came to realize here in the last month or so, and actually was watching the Edgar Casey videos, that all I'm doing is inviting negative energy into my positive energy space. And that they are making their own choices and their own journey, and, um, that's on them. I truly believe, though, that I'm not saying that the higher divine just accepts everybody no matter how they are. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that I wish no harm by any person to another person because of their ideology or their beliefs. And that's what we're seeing. Um, and unfortunately, the people that are the victims, um, I do believe that they'll survive. I do believe that if they have any belief system at all, they can find comfort if they seek it. And I have to believe that even my journey, and I've told you before, I've never ever saw myself as a victim. And one of the videos I just watched recently was about how your physical life here on earth may not just be for you, it may be for someone else or some others. And that's when I said, you know what, I got to knock this selfishness off about being hurt by everybody because they don't understand me, because they're voting against everything I am, and just live my life and be an example. Try to lead by example. And when people are around me, I want them to feel the spirit in me. I want them to feel the warmth. I want them to feel the kindness. And I'm human and I'm flawed. And I try to catch myself from talking about anybody who has wronged me, like my niece and her husband. The other day, my other niece was talking about camping and stuff, and I said, well, I don't see her as really a camper because she's high prissy stuff. And I thought that was uncalled for after I said it. I said, you're just putting her down because you want to put her down because she hurt you. And I got a hold of myself and I didn't say any more. And I thought, that's my cross to bear because I was wrong. And so I do catch myself. I try to. And if I don't catch myself, it comes back to me later because I'll do something and I'll process it later and I'll think, oh man, I should have done that. Or just like now, I should have never said that. That wasn't my place. And so I'm just trying, peeps, it's just like now seeing this text. And my first response was, oh God, they got her. you know, um, she's never, ever since I've known her, and I've known her a good 30 plus years, been in church. And so I don't know how vulnerable she was to hear whoever was saying it. But I hope that what she's searching for, she finds. Because I did tell her from the very beginning, I understand you probably were searching for something. And I hope you find it. I hope it fulfills you. Because I want everybody to be happy. And I want them to understand that we can have a peaceful life here on earth. It depends on how much drama we bring into it. And understand when others are causing drama against us, that it's how we react to that that makes it either penetrate or just bounce off. And so those are the things I'm working on. But I just had to come in here and talk about it because, I'm just devastated, to be honest with you. I'm just shocked. And I just got to be here for both of them as a friend. But anyway, you guys, take it one day at a time and always make your journey as simple as possible. We'll talk to you later.